Library Out Loud updates you all about the fun and interesting things going on in the Spokane County Library District. Sponsored by STCU and the Spokane County Library District.
Hello, and welcome to Library Out Loud. I'm Jane with the Spokane County Library District, and joining me today is our Director, Dumbo. Hi, Doug.
Hi, Jane. How are you?
How are you? I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well myself.
Okay, great. I know it's been busy. Our libraries opened our buildings again on Monday, March 8th. So we are now open to the public. And so today that's what we're going to talk about, what's going on at the libraries and what you can experience should you choose to stop by and visit us now that we are open. So we opened Monday. How's it going so far, Doug?
So far, so good. I think one of the best things about it, obviously, is we've got customers back into the buildings. It's been a while. We
Yes.
closed last year, had to close the buildings to the public almost a year ago today. It was St. Patrick's Day 2020. And
Mhm.
we were able to open briefly in November, but then had to close the doors again to the buildings themselves. So it's been a long time coming, and I think people are coming in and they're just happy to be back into their libraries and getting the materials that they were looking for, and really just seeing people is one of the best things about it, I think.
Yes, yes, seeing people in person, that is one of the
Yeah.
best things. So for anyone not aware of some of the changes, because we are opened at a limited capacity, we're going to spend some time today talking about that. So first of all, our hours. Our hours are noon to 6,
Yep.
and that is Monday through Saturday. And
Yep.
those are the hours that will continue.
Yep. We yeah, noon to 6, Monday through Saturday. A little bit shorter than the hours we had, back before all of this. But it helps us with the coverage. And one thing is that if your library was open on a day Monday through Saturday, it's open that day now. But if it was closed on a Monday or a Friday or something like that, it still is. So whatever your regular library days were, those are still the
Mhm,
same. And the
mhm.
hours are just a little bit different.
Yeah, and just clarify for anybody watching who may not be aware that we have 11 libraries throughout the county.
Yep.
Several of them are open all the time. Their days are open all the time, such as North Spokane, Spokane
Mhm.
Valley, and Moran Prairie. I believe Cheney as well.
Deer Park, Cheney, and the bookend at the Spokane Valley Mall to round out that are open Monday through Saturday, all 6 of those days during the week.
Hmm. So in a couple of our other locations, that would leave Otis Orchards, Airway Heights, Medical Lake, and Fairfield. On the days they were normally open, they are open
Yeah.
now, but noon to 6 o'clock. Okay.
Noon to
So
6 o'clock at all locations.
one of the first questions I've gotten with us reopening is curbside still available?
Yes. Curbside is amazing. Curbside,
Hmm.
we back when we had to close and there was a period of time where we weren't able to offer any sort of services, and then around about June, we were able to open up for curbside pickup, and I know a lot of people have gotten very accustomed to making curbside part of their routines now, whether it's at the library or picking up from the grocery store or out at a restaurant. And that's been very successful for us here. And we're going to continue that. So every hour that the library is open, we're offering the curbside service. If you have something to pick up, we'll send you a notice like we normally do that it's ready to go. You just pull up. There's a sign marking where to park and a phone number on there, and you just call us, let us know you're here, and we will run your materials out to you. And that still goes on even though the library is open. And I think we're going to plan on continue to do that for the foreseeable future. It's really been successful, and I think a lot of our customers enjoy it. So It's here to stay.
Mhm. That's great. Another thing we introduced was a special time for high risk customers. And the high risk is, the typical description of 65 and older, or if you have some medical conditions. So we allow people to self select if they are high risk or not. And then we have a special hour, and that is on Tuesdays and Saturdays from
Yeah.
11 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Yeah.
So we will
Tuesdays and
open a
Saturdays.
little early. Yes.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Tuesdays and Saturdays worked out well because all of our locations are open on Tuesdays and Saturdays. So that hour that
Mhm.
starts at 11, you can come into the library and browse, use a computer. But if you would still like to take advantage of the curbside service during that hour, you can do that as well. That additional hour is there to provide some, hopefully, some sense of comfort and security for those who find themselves, in a more high risk category, and it can be them and it can be those that accompany them as well. So if you have a member of your family that works out for, hey, great, come on in with them.
Okay, that's great. We're hoping lots of people take advantage of those times. Now, our capacity is limited. We're at a limited capacity of
Yes.
how many people can be in the library at a time. Can you expand on that a little bit, Doug?
Sure. So much like a lot of the other services during this last period, we're limited in the number of people we can have inside the libraries. We can have no more than our 25%. So we've got signs posted at each of the libraries as to what that number is. Usually, so far, there have been very few reports of people actually having to wait to come in. But if you do happen to come to the library and we are at capacity, we have staff right there at the door to help sort of assist you and get you ready for your visit, let you know when you can come in, and the wait shouldn't be that long. And it's been going pretty well with that. So, and I think a lot of people are actually kind of used to that a little bit right now, and I think we have that advantage where a lot of our customers have been working with this type of environment for a while, and really, are using it well.
Unfortunately, we've kind of gotten used to this. This is how it works everywhere.
Hmm.
Everybody's limited. There are the precautions. So, uh, visiting the library. So you come in now, and there's somebody at the door, and
Yep,
they
got a
greet
greeter.
you. And a borrowed concept from another retailer for sure.
Yep.
But it works. So that person's at the door, and they're keeping track of the capacity, how many people are in the libraries. But they also will have additional masks there, those type of things, hand sanitizers and things.
Sure.
We all know you've had to go run somewhere, and you jump out of the car to go in and realize that, oops, left my mask. It could be in the car, it could be
Hmm.
at home. So we'll have next for you. Um, what other things can we expect in the library that are a little different than it was a year ago?
Well, there are several things, and it kind of starts with that greeter, because one of the things we're having our greeters do is make sure that the customers coming in are aware of what restrictions are in place or what limitations we have under the current situation. So among them, I guess, as you said, the masks. That mask mandate is still in place. So if you forget yours, we'll have one ready for you. Um, we have, the 6 foot distance. We try to mark those. The high traffic areas, we've tried to arrange our furniture to spread those out a little bit so we don't have those bottlenecks or close proximity situations too much in the library. Um, we're trying to encourage everybody to limit their visits to about 30 minutes, and that way, if we do have any sort of capacity issue with the number of people coming in, we can get more people in, and they can enjoy the library as well. To that end, also, we've kind of rearranged our furniture to allow for that sort of quick in, quick out pickup, browse and pick up. You know, we have our computers are still available. Those are actually one of the things that we've changed up a little bit. Our computer reservations now are for 30 minutes, and it's one 30-minute session per customer per day, and that's to help us because prior to the pandemic, we had our computers, in clusters like you see in a lot of schools or other libraries, and that really isn't conducive to this whole 6-foot social distancing idea. So in order to allow us to have those computers available, spaced them out a little bit, and we've got fewer computers available to make those spaces available. So we have a reservation system in place. You can either reserve it online, give us a call, we'll make the reservation for you, or even when you're in the library, we can get you set up. But the computers are available for that. And then a couple of the other things that you may notice a little bit different in your library is we are our in-library programs right now are suspended, and we hope to bring those back, in the near future. But we've got all kinds of library programs online, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a bit. But when you come in there, what we're really trying to encourage and get people used to, at least right now, is sort of the come in, spend a little time with us, browse those shelves. I think that's one of the biggest things that our customers have missed over these last several months. It's just the ability to come in and explore. And we want a lot of people to be able to do that under the current guidelines and restrictions. So we've got sort of that, browse and go mentality, 30 minutes if you could, and we will try and get you the things that you want.
That's right. And we do have a lot of services that are available. Some are not available yet. So there's a wide range of those. We're going to take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll talk about what's still available and what isn't. We'll be right back after this.
What? You haven't been to the library lately? Stop in today and see that the library is more than books. Spokane County Library District facilities feature on-site technology, including Wi-Fi, computers, and printers, as well as free use of meeting rooms. The Library District offers events and programs for all ages, from story times to career development and employer classes to Social Security workshops. Our staff is well trained and happy to help. Find out more about your library at scld.org.
I'm Nikki Butler, and I'm a regional manager for STCU. My lunch buddy is Nicole.
I'm Brandy Schloss. I'm a regional manager at STCU. My lunch buddy is Angelina. She's grown up with me. I've grown up with her. To see her graduate will be a lot of fun.
Brandy and I have been lunch buddies since the girls were in 2nd grade. It's great that STCU provides me with the opportunity to be part of Reach for the Future. We are committed to the children. We're committed to our community. I'm Nikki.
I'm Brandy.
And STCU is here for good.
And welcome back to Library Out Loud. I'm Jane Baker with the Spokane County Library District, and joining me is Doug Stumbo, Operations Director, also with the district. And we're talking about the libraries once again reopened to the public. We opened on Monday, March 8th, noon to 6 p.m. are our hours, and we're very excited to have people back in the library. We have some great services that we introduced and are continuing, including our curbside pickup. But we also have mobile hotspots available.
Yeah.
And those have been very popular.
Very popular.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So those help boost up, for any distance learning. And even though a lot of kids are getting back into schools right now, there's still a need for the boost in internet and Wi-Fi ability to connect with other things, whether you're scheduling your vaccine or you're just connecting with friends or family. A need for internet is still super important to a lot of people in the county who do not have access. So those hotspots are very helpful. We have several, and you can come and check them out. Another thing we have is mobile printing. That's, for me personally, started working from home, but I never had a printer. So the mobile printing's been a lifesaver, and you can connect online with that, correct? Am I correct on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, both the mobile hotspots and the mobile printing. I think those are two different ways that we can still provide some of the services that people were relying on their library for prior to the closures, in a way that maybe not is not exactly like it was before, but I think give that option, both to retrieve those prints if you don't have a printer at home like you did. I know, as you said, a lot of people are working from home now, um,
Mhm.
but also with the mobile hotspots, the ability, the connectivity. I think there's an awful lot that was discovered during this time period about, or at least realized about, access to digital resources or access to be online. And of course, during that time when we were all a little bit more isolated and had to rely on our devices and whatnot to make those connections where possible, those customers who relied on the library to come in and make that connection utilizing the internet and our computer stations, that was something we weren't able to offer quite in the same way. However, we did get a grant from the Washington State Library, who was using CARES Act money, to provide libraries with some cellular hotspots, and we were able to take advantage of that. We got 30 of those in October. The service was so popular and successful that we went ahead and bought another 25 to put out there for customers. And those continue to be, I think, for a lot of customers, very popular and very much appreciated for providing that connectivity that people don't necessarily have, or they don't necessarily feel comfortable coming back into the library or into very public environments uh, quite yet. And that's great.
Mhm. That is great. Great service that we were able to help out with. And then on top of that, we have virtual programming. I know we're going to talk a little bit about programming here if we have time, but we have a
Mhm.
lot of virtual programs, and that allows people to connect with those. And then the one-on-one virtual book a librarian appointments. Those are back. So you can't, it might be difficult to get in to talk to a librarian, or you're hesitant to come back in. You can still talk one-on-one with a librarian virtually, and we have information for that on our webpage, which is scld.org. So you can check out appointments and talk one-on-one with our staff, who are always happy to help anybody with any issues going on, whether it's checking out a book or questions
Absolutely.
about taxes. Yeah, all of those things. A few suspended things we have that aren't ready to come back. One of those is our meeting rooms. And
Yeah.
I made mention at times to people like, well, that's the room that we're quarantining books in. And people are like, what? What's this quarantining about books?
Yeah.
Talk about that a little.
Sure. So the state issued some guidelines for libraries to be able to reopen and provide some services. And one of the things that they put in there, and we are following, is a 24-hour quarantine for materials returned to library. So what that means is when you come in and you drop your books and DVDs and whatnot into the book drop, we take them, and then we put them into a quarantine. And the spaces that we've designated in our libraries to be able to do that is the meeting rooms that gets them out of the way and allows us to actually create that quarantine. The books then come out 24 hours later and get back into circulation. But that has actually, impeded a little bit our ability to provide those rooms, which have been popular, to our customers. Same thing is true for some of our conference rooms as well. Um, we aren't able to offer those at the moment because, as I said, we've been moving some furniture around. We've got the quarantined items. Uh, Libraries weren't big on storage space before, so we had to kind of come up with some ways to get those into place so we could actually open the doors, which is what we really wanted to do. So you'll see that. Those are things that hopefully, as we get further into the year and whatnot, we'll be able to offer those services again. But right now, those are something that we have to put on hold, so to speak.
Mhm. We're not, we haven't been okay to gather in meetings yet anyway, so it's
Correct.
working out. Yeah, if that changes, we'll figure out what we're going to do
Yep.
moving forward. For right now, those rooms are not available. Also worth mentioning, the studio in Spokane Valley and the lab at North Spokane, those are also closed at the moment. Is that correct?
That is correct. And we have a couple of other types of services. We've had our outreach services, which are the ones that visit adult facilities and childcare facilities. We've had to suspend those a little bit. Obviously, going out and interacting with some of the more vulnerable populations or something is on hold for a while. And then I was trying to think a couple others that we have out there. We do get quite a few questions about book donations. Do we still take donations from people who are perhaps looking to find a new home for their books and whatnot? And as
Mhm.
much as we'd love to, right now we can't. We don't have the capacity for that. We're hoping to get that soon, but that is one of the other things that we're not able to do at this time is to take book donations. But hopefully, all of these things are things that we can work through, and as long as we're following them, and as long as we continue to improve, then I think we're on the good side of this now, and we'll be able to expand more and more.
Yes, yes. And we're on the path. Fingers crossed, everything goes well, and we keep moving forward
Yep.
with this. But it is very exciting to start opening up again. Uh, you had mentioned, we had closed our buildings a year ago, but that doesn't mean that we had stopped doing anything. We introduced the curbside and
Right.
the mobile things like that. But our program staff, which I happen to know that you are their boss, so I know how hard
Hmm.
your staff is working in getting
Absolutely.
programs together. Uh, we have an unbelievable amount of programs. It's very exciting. I happen to know about a few of them that have yet to been announced that are coming up next month. So I want to mention a few of those, and please
Sure.
chime in if you have things to say about these programs. Of course, everyone knows, well, hopefully everybody knows that we have fabulous early learning programs. Story
Mm-hmm.
time is online. These are all online, lots of programs for the kids. But we also have a lot of programs that are for adults. And I kind of wanted to talk about a few of those coming up that people don't always realize that we have. One of them is some of our Medicare programs. We have There's one every month starting in April, May, and June. They'll probably continue through the summer as well. But Medicare 101. What the heck is Medicare about? How do you sign up? Who do you get trusted information from? And we have great information put together by unbiased resources that come in and give you this free information and help you figure out Medicare. Doug, I know you're not old enough to need Medicare yet, but I have a spouse who is into that age, and boy, is it confusing. So, in fact, I was telling him just yesterday, we need to sign up for our own program here and do this Medicare program. So we have that program, and what's one of your favorite programs, Doug?
I
Put
actually I've got several of them, and some of them have been going for a while. But some of the newer ones, I think I've been very impressed by some of our online sort of trivia offerings. Those seem to be
Mhm.
pretty popular, and I know we have one coming up. I believe it is Lord of the Rings that's coming up. Um,
We do Lord of the Rings, yes.
yeah, but I think for families and more, we've got things like our Discovery passes are back.
Mhm,
It's
mm,
not an online program, so I'm getting a base here, but it's a checkout Washington sort of backpack that has Discovery passes, which allow you to park at any Washington State park. And those are I think we're getting into that time of year where we're getting out into those areas are really something that families want to do or individuals want to do, and that's a really good way for people to be connected to those park systems by just using your library card and checking out a backpack, and you get the pass itself, so you can park without paying at the park. And they have field guides and binoculars and materials and things like that. Really make the experience hopefully very enjoyable, but accessible. And that's one of the real things we like to do. But yeah, I'm also looking forward to, I think next week we've got for our parents, but hopefully with to assist with their kids, we've got our picture book chat starts next week. We've got a couple of our premier children's literature experts for us, Mary Ellen and Sherry, and they'll go through and really what it is to help introduce parents and caregivers to what's new out there in children's books and picture books, and what do they like about these books, and why do they like them, and what are they good for your toddler, your preschooler, or any of your early readers, and some activities to go along with those, because I know we've always been looking for, having kids myself, we're always looking for ways to get our kids not only engaged, but excited about it. And, sometimes we get stuck on what it is we should be doing next, or how we can augment or add on to the experience of just reading the book. And I think Sherry and Mary Ellen do a great job of actually, exposing us as parents on what's out there as options that maybe we don't see or we don't think of. Those are some of the ones that are exciting to me.
Yeah, the great point. That's a picture book chat for adults to pick out and to learn about the books for the kids. And Mary Ellen and Sherry are a delight. They are so fun to sit in a session and watch. We have so many programs and an unbelievable amount of programs. I have a list in front of me that are about to be announced on our website next week, but unfortunately, we don't have time to go over them all. So what I want to do is invite everybody to visit scld.org, go through our site, see what kind of programs that we offer, and learn about them, sign up. You can sign up online. If you're ready, come on in and visit us at the library. We're happy to see you.
Absolutely, please.
Yep. Any final words, Doug?
Nothing more than just, we are, like I said, we are happy to have people back into the libraries. It's been a long time that we've been able, we've got these great buildings, we've got these great materials. They really aren't the best part of the library. It's the people that come in. And of course, when they talk with us and they talk with each other, I think that's something that we've missed. I think that's something our customers miss. And I'm so happy that we're able to at least get started with that again.
Yes. Things are looking up for us, and it was great. Thank you for joining me today, Doug, and giving us some updates on what it's like in the buildings. Again, check out scld.org, find out about all our programs, follow us on our social media channels. We have so much going on, and we look forward to seeing you. For Library Out Loud, I'm Jane Baker, and I look forward to seeing you next time.
Thanks for watching. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or check out any of our other programs on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com. Sponsored by the Spokane County Library District and STCU.